Barcelona.
I wanted to talk about Slack just because we are working in 3 different places and we need to communicate somehow. But so far we're using Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and email. Yeah, so that's a little bit too much. And also it's hard to find, relevant messages. So let's say one day we're working about just meeting up and having beers, and the other day we're talking about work. So everything mixed together, and it's quite a mess. And the good thing about Slack is that it's a private group, so it's not like Facebook. You don't have to be, online for everybody. They don't really know that you're on Slack. It's not like the whole world sees you that you're on Facebook.
Yeah.
We can share files. We can look for messages. So it's kind of a replacement for an email as well. So this is this group is called Chicago Web Friends, and people just started it. People from around Chicago started this group. They just have this group to kind of communicate and stay in touch. There is a channel called Jobs. So if someone is looking for a job, or if a company looks for an employee, that's how they post jobs. It's a closed circle, so I think the quality of candidates is a little bit higher.
Okay.
They know each other, they can refer each other, even if they don't know each other by, face to face. They, they exchange ideas on this Slack group, or, they basically are within a circle. Yeah, over here, articles.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting articles, right? Board games. People talk about board games. Business ideas, cats. There's pretty much everything. But it's a closed group.
Yeah.
And they communicate between each other. Anyone can join it. But if you are not a programmer, probably you won't be interested in joining this group.
Okay.
Right? You wouldn't have any interest joining Chicago Web Friends. You're not from Chicago. You're not a web developer.
I don't have friends.
And you don't have friends. So yeah.
But so maybe I'm jumping ahead. But how would someone find the Chicago Web Friends Slack channel?
So you can get an invite. They can send you an invitation, or you can find it through a friend. Or just Google it.
You can Google it. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So there is a group called NS Barcelona, and it's another specific group about programming. It's for iOS programmers, and I didn't really know their address or their Slack URL.
Mm-hmm.
What I did, I just Googled.
Yeah.
Barcelona Slack programming iOS.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were the first. Yeah.
The way you got started with Slack, was it through work? Or
yeah, it was through work.
Okay.
Yeah, it was through work. We the agency that I used to work for, we were like plus and minus 15 people,
mm-hmm.
and it was really hard to communicate. People, at a marketing agency, there are lots of files, lots of documents, lots of information and ideas and meetings. That was really unorganized. And
you were using GChat, weren't you?
We were using
Hangouts?
GChat. We were using I don't think we were using Facebook, but
email for sure. Probably text messages.
Yes. And and at some point we just switched to Slack. It was hard because people didn't know what Slack is, and they were like, "Oh, I don't want another tool."
That's how I feel right now. Honestly, I was like, I don't want another thing to check because
Well,
that's I have so many other channels right now,
mm-hmm.
and I guess to me, I know you've been talking about how great Slack is for years now. And I know that most of my teams that I used to work with are now using Slack.
Yeah.
So I just wonder I always wonder what is the thing about it that makes it so good.
It's not about Slack being so good, because probably there are different tools that are either equal or better than Slack. The difference between Slack and everything else that you have right now is that this tool is limited in terms of how many people you interact with and what do you do with it. It's not Facebook, so you don't have to have Facebook website open all the time and getting random chats from people. It's not, it's not iMessage where anyone can text you. It's not family, based oriented. It's not GChat, so anyone who has your email address can message you, right? It's a very specific tool for specific communication at work.
So, for example, let's say I'm on the I Love Cats Slack channel. I'm on, something for video editors, a channel for that, and then I'm in, this group's, like a Strange Flock Slack channel, and we're really intensely working on something. I'm trying to focus. Can I turn off all the other channels?
Yep. You can close the app, or you can. There are a couple of things that you can do. So basically, I'm on a different time zone than my friends in Chicago, and now they know that I'm sleeping because I'm active, but the notifications are snoozed, right? This one is active, but I can snooze it for 20 minutes, 24 hours. Do not disturb schedule. So every day you can be in a do not disturb.
So it's like having office hours.
Yes. So it's like having office hours, and you can set it for specific channels. So you can enjoy your cat's channel, but you can be, you can turn off all the notifications at work.
So you can focus, really.
Yeah.
Really focus on cats.
Yeah. So this is our Strange Flock group, right? There aren't that many people. We have me, Ben, and Caitlin. But I've already created a couple of channels. One is for Vorto. One is for iOS, Vorto iOS. Okay, so another thing about Slack is that you can connect different apps with it. So let's say there's an app called Small Chat. And what this one does is on one of my websites, I have a chat, like a pop-up. So people can write with me.
And it would go here.
It will go here.
That's cool.
So this is the tool that I will use when someone needs help with the website. They don't know how to navigate, or they have a problem with the website. They will write to me, and I will reply to them within Slack. I don't have to find their emails. I don't have to go look for any other tool. This app is integrated with Slack, and I can use it right over here. So I use GitHub.
Do you know what that is?
I've heard of it. I haven't used it.
So yeah, it's for programmers. It's basically to write code and then to store it online, so you have versions of your progress.
Okay.
But every time I store a new version online, I get a message over here that, hey, we received your message, we received your code, and stuff like that. It's automated, but I get it. It's
to keep track.
But it integrates with a lot of tools.
Yeah.
It's really up to you how you use it. Strange Flock is a group.
Okay,
or
got
is
it.
A team, right?
Gotta get the
and you can
terminology
have a
right.
couple of, you can have as many groups as you want, and each, if you're, like I said, you can be snoozed at one, but active on the other one. Yeah, so that's the first division that you can have. So we can be a part of Strange Flock, but then me and Ben, I can be a part of some other group, and you can have 5 different groups that you belong to, and stuff like that. And then within those groups, there are channels. Okay, and some channels are restricted. So this one has like a lock.
Okay.
And it's because I don't want all the people from my Strange Flock group to access it. So it's only for, let's say, me and someone else.
I really like Google Docs, but I find that things get lost very easily. This looks like it would be a much better.
This is more of like interactive. It's not like a very, a dry document. When we have a document, that's basically That's how dropping a document works. So this is uploading a file to coding, and now anyone who is in this coding group will have access to it.
Okay.
So this is my archive, right?
Yeah.
And those were the files from this channel. And now I'm looking at all the files that were I shared with Ben.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is for files as well. Keyboard shortcuts. You might enjoy it.
Yeah.
All the shortcuts. That's pretty much it. It's just so the communication is a little bit more organized.
I think I see it answers that question because right now we are across Instagram messages, basic messenger,
and
email, but it is an additional
it is
thing to look at. Not that that's a problem, but
it is.
I think it's probably as strong as how much we use it.
How much? Yeah.
I would say, if we use, exactly. It really depends. It will depend how much we use it.
Mm-hmm.
It also, it would be good if you guys would find yourself like other groups that you belong to.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Then
there's
you would
things
have a
that
bigger
I
incentive.
would probably benefit from. Like if I'm stuck on a VFX issue, I'm delving into a world of unknowns, and there's so many problems I run into. And rather than, it'd be nice to have people to ask, experts to ask about that sort of thing. I mean, there's forums, but they're everywhere.
Well, I was going to say, I love Facebook groups.
Yeah.
But it is 90%, 98% garbage,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'll go in there when I need something,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to sift, and I'm going to get a whole bunch of stupid answers that people that don't answer, and this seems like it's a little more refined.
Yeah, and it's more... I think people that are on Facebook, like Facebook is not for work, right?
Although for your...
Well, no, I agree with that. But Facebook in general is for enjoyment. It's for just to see what your friends or your family is doing, right?
Yeah.
That's Facebook. Instagram is for images, for photos. This is more towards, your work.
Yeah.
And I think, to me, that's the biggest difference. Like this tool is, it has everything to keep you a little bit more organized, although it also can be annoying when you're getting lots of like messages from people and you need to finish up something and they don't really, I don't know, it almost makes communication with you too easy. Because you're always reachable. They know that this is the work tool.
Yeah.
You're not...
Does it get marked as red all the time?
So once you see it, yeah.
Once you see what?
Once you see it, does someone know that you've seen it?
No. Okay.
So Ben doesn't know that you saw that message.
Ben doesn't know.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. I like that.
But again, like when I was working at that marketing agency, that was the tool that we were using, and I was supposed to be online, right, all day long, because I was on call, right?
Yeah.
So if someone writes me an email, I'm not obligated to respond right away.
Yeah, but here
if someone calls me, well, then I respond, but the call is very, strict to the time we talk on a phone.
It has an end. It has a beginning and an end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This can just be a flow of messages throughout the day.
Okay.
Definitely not good for manuscript madness.
No, but and another thing is, I wouldn't really, my point with Slack is not to replace all the other messaging app that we use and have everything that we do only in here, because like I said, we talk about meeting for drinks or having dinner, and that doesn't have to be on Slack. It can be on Facebook. This can be just if we actually want to talk about something work-related. So, ideas or, documents that we want to share or something new. But it doesn't have to be about everything.
If we had a channel that was newsreel, and we could just, if I shared, like, do you think this is good to post or not? It might be a more... contained place to keep it, as opposed to like muddying up our Facebook message, which is talking about like when we're gonna meet for dinner or whatever.
It seems like crass. Sometimes I feel talking about work in our like social channels, it feels like unseemly, you know, and vice versa. You know.
And with this one, I can just, you know, let's say have an article that I'm thinking about posting, but I don't really have to write to you or to Katie. I can just post it in that channel, and whenever you have a moment and you notice it, you can just go through it and reply to whatever I was asking. Like, it doesn't have to be, I don't have to always message you or her. It can be just, you know, okay, I'm putting it out there, and, you know, whoever wants to respond. Fine.
Yeah, that makes sense.